Ladies and gents, thank you for joining me. I am Mo and we are going to be playing through some Golden Quest. We are on night 12, block B action. If you haven't seen the previous parts to the Golden Quest, you can find them on the YouTubes. As we take a look at the standings for block B, right at the bottom we have a winless Hirooki Goto with 0 points. His longtime counterpart, I'd like to say, Katsuyori SHIBATA, only with 1 win and 5 points. Jazz probably not too happy about his pick there. Minoru SUZUKI follows with 10 points, 2 victories, the same as Shinsuke NAKMURA. And above them we have Hiroshi, TANAHASHI, AJ Styles, CM Punk and Pac, all in the middle of the pack with 15 points, 3 victories each. And at the top we have OKADA and Omega with 20 points. And let's just run down the card very quickly for tonight. So we're going to be seeing, in our opening match, we're going to be seeing Jazz's pick, Katsuyori SHIBATA, versus Perry's pick of Pac. That sounds like a nursery rhyme. Perry's pick of Pac. And then in our second match, we have Minoru Suzuki, Crazed 11, versus CM Punk, Stoofy's pick. In match number 3, we have Shinsuke Nakamura versus Hiroshi Tanahashi. That's the OCookieMonstah versus Dane. And in our co-main event we have Omega versus AJ. So we have K-Mac versus my pick, AJ Styles. And in the main event, a very interesting main event, we're going to have 2 members of Chaos in the main event. We're going to have OKADA, who's at the top of the block, versus Hirooki Goto, who's yet to pick up a win. Now the interesting thing here is if Omega is able to defeat AJ and it goes down to OKADA and Goto picks up a win, it could be the most, although he's winless, that might be the most significant win he picks up in the Golden Quest so far, because that would essentially stop OKADA from getting to the top of the block and also give him maybe the most weighted 5 points that he could have gone. He looked like he was gonna getting close to defeating CM Punk, but that was not the case. Still winless here as we take a look at bracket A. A very similar situation to Cody. So you have to believe that the Golden Quest is pretty much fading, or if not already fading, for Cody and Hirooki Goto. But that is how the brackets are looking at right now. The blocks, block A, block B. Let's get over to our first opening match between Jazz's pick of Katsuyori SHIBATA right here versus Pac in our opening contest. Shout out to Generic Bandit for the follow on twitch.tv/mo2x15. And here we go, SHIBATA versus Pac in our opening contest. And it is time for a Twitch poll. On the twitch.tv Twitch chat, we have a poll. Who is going to win, So far, 2 votes for Katsuyori Shibata, nothing for Pac. We'll keep an eye on that as things progress. As Shibata delivering a knee to the sternum of Pac, taking him down. Follows up with a couple of kicks as they tie up again. And Pac with a sharp elbow to the back of Katsuyori Shibata and just pretzels him over in that bow and arrow lock. As they tie up again, and Shibata with a headlock takeover. Wrestling Pac to the ground. And you have to believe this is going to be another one that's a bit of a strike fest. We've seen some of those so far in the tournament. Jazz B wanting Goto to win in tonight's main event. It would be very interesting if Goto is to pick up a win, because that would almost be like him worth taking the trip to come out and do this Golden Quest. It would be very impressive if he can knock off OKADA, but I'm, you know, it's not in his favor. It would be interesting to see. As Shibata trips up Pac, runs into the ropes, and just a stiff kick to a downed Pac as they tie up again. Pac with a back elbow to Katsuyori Shibata, and follows up with a Hurricane Rana, dragging him away from the ropes, and dropping a knee across the throat. Shibata with those sharp, that's what we talked about, the striking. The sharp striking of the forearm by Katsuyori Shibata into the face. The head area as Pac comes back with a sweep of his own. I don't think we've seen that so far. And here we go. They tie up again. And Pac hits a Hurricane Rana. Oh, and it looks like Shibata with a variation of a fireman's carry into a neck breaker. Just working on the legs of Pac. And it looks like 100% of the Twitch poll goes to Katsuyori Shibata picking up the victory here in our opening match of Night 12 against Pac. I still find it strange saying Pac. Or is it Pac? Is it Pac? Like, it's confusing is what it is. As Shibata runs into the ropes and hits a drop kick on his opponent. And again throws Pac into the ropes. And Pac with a big elbow to the face, knocking Shibata down, and follows up with a knee drop and another reverse kick. This time to the back of Shibata, knocking him down and stomping him while he's down. Ooh, and a huge move there. What a maneuver by Shibata. That's what we're going to do when we don't know what certain move is for. But looks like Pac goes for the roll-up. And Red Shoes calls for a rope break. And Shibata firing away with those open palm strikes and a backhand. A spinning backhand. Knocking down Pac as Shibata hits a suplex from behind. Shibata's looking very strong here. And a big drop kick to the back of Pac, knocking him down, taking a moment to catch his breath. And again, Pac, it looks like he was going for that fireman's carry into a neckbreaker, but Pac able to escape, but not for long, as he gets thrown out of the ring. As Shibata very symbolically stands in the middle of the ring, catching his breath, allowing Pac to get back into the ring so this match can continue, throwing him into the ropes and slapping him down to the mat. And a setting up maybe for the PK, taking the back of Pac while he's down. Pac going for a rear waist lock, only momentarily, only to follow up with a kick and a strong lariat, just a standing lariat, and a German suplex with a bridging pin combination is almost enough to defeat Shibata, almost maybe catching him off guard. But we know about the injured head. The head injuries of Katsuyori Shibata, so that's something to consider as they go back and forth. European uppercut for strike. Pac with a huge super kick, knocking down, and a deep German suplex, almost destroying Shibata's hopes there. That was a very impressive, showing the strength of Pac. Oh, what's this? Pac, able to slip out the back, runs into the ropes, and a Maravilla DDT, tornado DDT, stomping on a down Shibata. Rear waist lock, and he hits a back suplex. And another huge tornado DDT from Pac. And Jas is not liking what he's seeing. Shibata going for a cover and getting very close to that 3 count. And a massive German suplex again. Pac maybe going for that brutalizer, or maybe going for a black arrow, and it looks like, I called it a black arrow, a red arrow, whatever you want to call it. It is enough to defeat the wrestler. The bastard picks up 5 points. So close indeed. 14 minutes, 32 seconds, and it was a black arrow off the top rope, followed up with a pinfall that takes Shibata possibly out of this hunt, this quest to be crowned the first heavyweight champion. The match evaluation stands at 89% as we keep things rolling into our next match, which will see Minoru Suzuki taking on one CM Punk. So this will be Stoofy's pick of CM Punk versus Crazed 11's pick of Minoru Suzuki in our second match of the night. And I think we're ready to get things started. So let's, without further ado, kick off match number 2. This should be very interesting. This is probably the first time we're seeing something like this. A CM Punk versus Minoru Suzuki in match number 2. And this should be an interesting one. Minoru Suzuki just taking CM Punk down, sweeping him off of his feet. As CM Punk follows up and counters with an elbow to the face and goes for a very early cover. I'm not entirely sure why he would go for a cover so early, but it is what it is. He's definitely not on anything, we know that much. As he sits at 15 points, the same as Minoru Suzuki. Oh, pardon me. Minoru Suzuki sitting at 10 points. So Suzuki picking up a win would give him 15 points. And put him somewhere in the middle of the pack. Victory here for CM Punk could very well put him in the runnings for getting to the top of the table. It looks like Nightwolf is just joining us. Possibly after some kind of strategic conversation with Nightbot, but you know, that's a whole different thing. That's a different ball of wax. We'll save that conversation for another time. We'll save those conspiracies for another time. As CM Punk throws Minoru Suzuki into the blue corner, unable to connect with a drop kick or a spinning back kick or another drop kick. I don't know what is going on with CM Punk, but Minoru Suzuki with a clean forearm to the face, and now a snapmare takes Punk into the center of the ring. They tie up again, and a huge headbutt from Minoru Suzuki, and a neck breaker from CM Punk. And a very interesting here to see CM Punk trying to stretch out Minoru Suzuki. Both men with some kind of experience in the MMA world. As we see the Twitch chat poll pop up, who is winning this one? Will it be Minoru Suzuki or will it be CM Punk? Will it be the king or will it be the best in the world? Well, whether or not CM Punk is the best in the world, we've yet to see that here. He's done nothing. He's done nothing here. In company history, he has 3 victories under his belt. And possibly 3 losses, depending on how this one goes. But Minoru Suzuki connecting again with a huge signature style headbutt. And that stunner, that variation of the stunner has come in very effective, very useful to CM Punk in terms of getting out of rear waistlock situations as they tie up again. Minoru Suzuki hits the snapmare and just kicks Punk down, laying him prone, goes to recover, but only a 1 count. Still fairly early as we approach the 6.5 minute mark as they move over to the bottom half of the ring. And another snapmare from Minoru Suzuki, just keeping it very basic. And then, yes, again, kicking down CM Punk. Only gets a 2 count as expected. And CM Punk going for a proud pin right across that Fire Pro Wrestling World logo. And Punk with a snapmare of his own, pulling Suzuki away from the ropes and locking in an Anaconda Vice. Could Suzuki be in trouble at the... Nope. He is not. Punk going for a snap suplex. And a running leg drop coming off the ropes. They tie up again. And Suzuki takes down Punk, goes for a cover. And a flying knee from CM Punk. Ooh, and a near fall from CM Punk. As Suzuki throws Punk into the ropes and connects with a very impressive... And Minoru Suzuki has always had very impressive drop kicks. They tie up again. Suzuki takes him down with a headbutt and implores CM Punk to get back up to his feet. Punk kicking off Suzuki. Suzuki getting back up to his feet. Sitting CM Punk up on the mat and connecting with a kick of his own. Punk quickly getting back to his feet. But maybe he should have taken a second to breathe. As Suzuki went for that guillotine, and Red Shoes calls for a rope break, and Suzuki with a Gotch-style pile driver at the 10-minute 50-second mark, and almost defeating CM Punk right under the 11-minute mark. CM Punk with a snap suplex of his own, as the Twitch poll concludes with 50% of the votes going to the King, and 50% of the votes going to CM Punk. Red Shoes calling for a rope break. And a shining wizard from CM Punk. Suzuki gets to his feet first, but he's wobbly. He is wobbly, and another Shining Wizard. Shades of Mrs. Punk. As he doesn't go for a cover, he instead picks Suzuki up, and it looks like he's going for a GTS. And Suzuki is like a zombie. He's like a zombie. He just ate a GTS, but he refused to stay asleep. Getting back up to his feet, catching his breath, hitting Punk with a headbutt and a forearm. And they tie up, back and forth. And a spinning wheel kick knocks Minoru Suzuki down. Punk with a combination, stunning Suzuki for a second, buying him enough time to connect with another neck breaker as he picks Suzuki up off the mat. But Suzuki again hitting his signature Gotch style power drive and goes for a cover. This has got to be it. And Punk kicking out again. Punk goes into the red corner, reverses and throws Suzuki in there, follows up with a chop. And a questionable senton from CM Punk. That's very unusual. That's out of his wheelhouse. It's almost like his CPU logic is kind of acting up. But we shall never know. As he connects with another, a swinging neck breaker. And a huge spinning heel kick. And Suzuki just looking to choke him out with a guillotine. 16.5 minutes into this one, as Punk goes to the top rope and hits a double foot stomp. Suzuki dragging Punk away from the ropes. And a huge tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. Punk just cutting off the onslaught by Suzuki, hitting him with a GTS, and this could be all she wrote. And again, the match continues as the fans are stomping their feet. And those knees connect to the abdomen of CM Punk. Huge DDT from CM Punk. Almost butting heads with the jackbox, man. As he comes off the top rope, hits a double foot stomp, and it looks like he's going for another GTS. And he connects. And he defeats Minoru Suzuki. CM Punk is your winner, moving up to the top of the pack with 20 points. And there we see the match evaluation at 100%. This one going on just under 20 minutes and ending with, I believe, the third GTS and pinfall. The king has fallen. Minoru Suzuki losing this one. CM Punk ending up somewhere at the top. But there's still a lot to take place here tonight, especially in that main event. So up next we have Shinsuke Nakamura versus Hiroshi Tanahashi in match number 3. So this is Nakamura, the Cookie Monsters pick, versus Tanahashi, Dane's pick. So we have number 6 versus number 8. as I take a pause for the cause. Thank you for the sip of green tea, Nightwolf Jones. Knowing that I need, I felt a bit parched. This is it's somewhat of a learning process, and it's cool, and it's interesting, and it's fun. I enjoy doing it, and it's different. And Shinsuke Nakamura's run compared to Lance Archer's run is kind of different too, because over on Block A, the OKOOKIEMonstah is undefeated. 6 wins, whereas over here, Block B, Nakamura with only 2 wins, Tanahashi with 3, Tanahashi representing Dane, OKOOKIEMonstah with Nakamura. Let's get this one underway. And here we go. We are halfway, or we're about to be halfway through. This is match number 3 of 5 on night 12 of the Golden Quest Block B action between Hiroshi Tanahashi and Shinsuke Nakamura. In any other place, this would be the main event. But here on the Golden Quest, any match could be the main event. Hiroshi Tanahashi, once upon a time known as the Ace in the past. But again, it doesn't matter what you've done in the past, it's all about company history. And in company history, Tanahashi picking up 3 wins, Nakamura picking up 2. And in the Twitch chat we have a poll: who's going to win between the OKOOKIEMonstah's pick of Shinsuke Nakamura and Dane's pick of Hiroshi Tanahashi. The poll's sponsored by JaspB88. OKOOKIEMonstah saying he needs the win. It's getting pretty crucial. We're more than halfway there, guys. In about 11 days, we're going to find out who the first ever heavyweight champion is going to be. And these guys are going to need to get into gear, because you have to believe, yeah, Cody, SHIBATA, these guys, GOTO, are not looking very good. In fact, it's not happening. They're pretty much out. See you, bye. Thanks for coming. Maybe the same for Kurt Angle. And it's going to be interesting to see whether or not he'll be around after the Golden Quest, or if there is anything beyond the Golden Quest. For now, we're in match number 3 in this one-on-one between Shinsuke Nakamura and Hiroshi Tanahashi. They've been world champions elsewhere, I will say that. And a huge signature dragon screw leg whip from Hiroshi Tanahashi, working on those very essential weapons of Nakamura's, those legs, those the same legs he's using right now to apply that guillotine on Hiroshi Tanahashi. Tanahashi thrown into the ropes and bounces back with a knee of his own to Shinsuke Nakamura, and that's very questionable. And here we see a knee, a kitchen sink, if you will, taking down Tanahashi as Nakamura begins to work on the leg. the injured knee, no secret, of Hiroshi Tanahashi. And a primal scream from Shinsuke. Dropping the knee. Nakamura picking up 4 votes. 100%. Twitch poll Jones agreeing that Nakamura is going to come out on top of this one. And it's looking very good. It's looking very good. As he just works on the head, the top of the head with those knees. Right into the skull of Hiroshi Tanahashi. But Tanahashi with a scoop slam throwing Nakamura out of the ring, his head bouncing off the ring apron. It's a common tactic we've seen in the Golden Quest. Some of these guys are getting reckless. They're getting desperate. They want to be the first heavyweight champion, and they're throwing their opponents out the ring, and their heads have been hitting the apron. Red Shoes checking on the submission as Tanahashi with the snap suplex takes Nakamura over, picks him up, ties up again, and oh, wait a minute. Small package attempt. 2 count only. And Tanahashi using all of that weight. All of Shinsuke's own weight. And the 3 bitch slaps to the face. But Nakamura following up with a somewhat... It wasn't a Northern Light suplex. Oh, wait a minute. Forearm to the face, and another one. Maybe he's tired of getting slapped. He's had enough. Oh, but Tanahashi just not letting up. Just slapping the holy Kinshasa out of Shinsuke Nakamura, and a running knee drop from the King of Strong Style. And a backstabber. We've seen that used a couple of times in this tournament. Shinsuke right on that Twitch logo. And Tanahashi coming off the top with a senton. Tanahashi throwing Nakamura over the top rope and goes out after him. And again, that jaw has got to be rocked as Nakamura counters with a back suplex of his own on the outside. I don't know how smart that was, using a backstabber on the outside. As the referee counts to 12, and we are at the 12.5-minute mark on the clock, and it looks like he's going for a triangle choke. And Tanahashi able to worm his way out. Nakamura goes for a cover and picks up the 3 count on Hiroshi Tanahashi. Well, it looks like things aren't over for Shinsuke just yet, as with that victory, he slides somewhere into the middle of the pack with 15 points. The match evaluation is 92%. This one going 13 minutes and 10 seconds. Nakamura picking up the win against Hiroshi Tanahashi. And up next is another match that could main event pretty much anywhere, as we have K-Mac's pick of Kenny Omega taking on my own of AJ Styles. Kenny Omega currently on the board with 20 points. AJ Styles with 15. We need a phenomenal victory. We need to hit that Styles clash. We need to get the win. We need to get the job done. Let's see if we can as we roll into match number 4. They don't want none. We need to pick up a victory here. AJ Styles throws Kenny Omega into the ropes. They tie up. Omega goes into the ropes again. AJ goes under, unable to take the advantage. Kenny hits him with a back elbow, taking down the Phenomenal One as they tie up again. Kenny going into the blue corner. Lock up and a scoop slam from AJ Styles on Kenny Omega, dragging him towards the center of the ring. So they tie up again, and Omega looks like he's just raking the elbow, point of the elbow into the face of a downed AJ Styles. This is going to be fast-paced. This is going to be a main event caliber match. And it is time for our Twitch poll in the Twitch chat. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, consider coming and watching it live with us here on twitch.tv/mo2x15. We'll be doing this on most nights at 8 p.m. BST. As the question has been asked in the Twitch chat. Who is going to win this one, AJ Styles or Kenny Omega? And Kenny with an eye rake to AJ. AJ with those forearms and tying up from behind and just dumping Kenny right onto that Hero for Fun mug emo. And I'd be amiss if I didn't tell you how you could get your own version of that emo right there. All you have to do is subscribe. Go get those Plug Jones in. And you can subscribe for free too, actually. Just type in !Prime into the Twitch chat and it'll explain to you how you can subscribe for free. And speaking of subscriptions, in our main event we have Hirooki Goto versus Okada. I hope you're all subscribed for that one. And there we go, Nightwolf showing off his nice emote right there. Who is in cahoots, I believe, with Nightbot, but that's a whole different conversation. Again, we'll talk about it some other time. As these two tie up again, and Kenny Omega with an eye rake on AJ Styles. Styles with that point of the elbow, taking Kenny to the mat and following up with a kick to the back. And a Ibushi style combination. Speaking of Ibushi, he was unable to get the job done, just like the 5 before him. Against the Murder Hawk Monster, the undefeated Block A, just absolute beast on a winning streak with 6 victories, 30 points sitting at the top of Block A. Kota Ibushi unable to defeat Lance Archer, and it begs the question, there's not that many people left in his way before he just steamrolls through to that final spot. And faces off against possibly one of these two guys as AJ Styles looks to hit the Styles Clash. Bang right in the center of the ring. This could be all she wrote. And in that would have been shocking if Kenny wouldn't have been able to last 7 minutes against the Phenomenal One, as AJ hits a 450 splash off the top rope. And again, Kenny just hanging on barely. Red Shoes calling a 2 count. Kenny hits a super kick on AJ, taking him down. Tying up again. AJ throws Kenny into the ropes and hits a Hurricane Runner of his own right onto that Fire Pro logo. And it looked like he hit a Kotaru crusher there. But AJ able to sustain it and gets back up to his feet fairly quickly. Kenny going for a cover after 3 rapid strikes. And AJ kicking out at the 1 count of referee Uno. And AJ's pumped up, he's going again. What's he gonna do? Again, another 450 splash, red shoes counts. And again, so close to 3. So close to 3. And there we hear the announcement, 10 minutes have passed in this one. AJ slamming Kenny down into the mat with a pump handle drop. And it looks like he's going for a phenomenal forearm, connecting maybe to the back of the head of Kenny Omega, and that could be all she wrote. Uno makes the count, 1, 2, and Kenny kicks out. And Kenny just drilling AJ into the mat. And a standing shooting star press. We've seen him end matches this way before, but not this time, not yet, says AJ Styles, as he takes Kenny over in a front facelock to the upper part of the ring and works on the head and the neck. Back and forth. Kenny says no, and a huge super kick. And 1 from AJ. And a 3rd pump handle drop, and it looks like a 4th 450 splash. There's no way he's kicking out this. And he kicks out. Kenny is still going, the cleaner, the best bout machine, able to hang in there, taking a neck breaker as we approach the 13-minute mark. And again, the phenomenal spam of 450 splashes in succession, just working on the midsection, just unrelenting. Wanting to do damage to that midsection, maybe setting up for well, that was a very beautiful drop kick, but maybe setting up for a Styles Clash. But Kenny with a gut wrench powerbomb. AJ able to get to the ropes, a snap suplex. I'm not sure what happened there. We might have to get the EMTs to check on Kenny Omega. He may be concussed. Not really showing great ring presence there. But he's going to try and... hits AJ with his signature move. And One-Winged Angel. It is over. No! The first person to kick out of a One-Winged Angel is AJ Styles, coming back with a Ushigoroshi of his own. Picking up Kenny, who again just drills AJ into the mat. This has been a good one. 15 minutes. 15 minutes into this one. Kenny goes off the ropes and a strong lariat. Taking down AJ. AJ avoids the chop.
You can't escape.
And a rolling fireman's carry from Kenny. And a variation of a V-trigger to the back of AJ Styles. And Styles again with another Ushigoroshi working on the neck of Kenny Omega. And a snap suplex right into the center of the ring. The Golden Quest. There we see it, going from July the 4th to July the 31st. And another V-trigger to the back of AJ Styles. As Kenny goes for a rear waist lock. And what's this? That spells the end of this one, as AJ slips into the top spot with OKADA and Kenny. A phenomenal one with a victory. There we go, a tower hacker bomb into a leg hook fall at 16 minutes and 50 seconds. And we're about to get ready for our main event. But before we do that, our main event is going to feature Hirooki Goto and Kazuchika Okada. And my throat is going. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break. If you are subscribed, there should be no changes to your screen. If you are not, you may see a little commercial Jones. So we're going to take a quick 60-second timeout, and then we're going to continue and conclude with our main event, Hirooki Goto winless against the Rainmaker Kazuchika Okada. Picture-in-picture action Jones. I think that's what they call it in AEW. But yeah, let's get things ready for Okada versus Hirooki Goto. Thank you for the sip of green tea. I appreciate it. You don't know how much I appreciate it. I appreciate the shit out of it. Thank you for the second sip of green tea. I'm gonna ration these out because this is not. This is new. I have 2 sips. I will have 2 sips. Thank you. Thank you. Nightwolf Jones also barring me up with his plans for world domination. Gotta have your vocal cords ready for the final. Yeah, it's still new, and it looks like we're back from our little break. If you're on YouTube and you're wondering what just happened, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just stay tuned for the main event. We have Kazuchika Okada, Nightwolf's pick. Oh, now it makes sense. Now those redemptions make sense. Nightwolf's pick, Kazuchika Okada versus Hirooki Goto. Clutch Crawford's pick in our main event. Goto could pick up the biggest win of the tournament as we get things going in our Block B, Night 12 main event. And here we go, main event time, a winless Hirooki Goto. Clutch Crawford's pick. I hope Clutch has given him some good advice, because this could be a big victory if he can topple Okada. We know that Okada not needing much training from Nightwolf Jones, but it is what it is. As Okada throws Goto into the ropes. And some of you may have noticed that Hirooki Goto and Katsuyori Shibata, apart from them having almost parallel runs, not only in the Golden Quest but throughout their careers, you might have noticed that for the Golden Quest we weren't able to secure the musical rights for them because we just didn't think it was going to be worth it, so we didn't bother. But that may change. That could change. Our investment in them may change, maybe post Golden Quest, but in terms of for right now, we didn't want to drop the money on acquiring the rights for their music. It just is what it is. And it's main event poll time. Jas B88, thank you for sponsoring the polls for tonight's action on the live Twitch chat. We have Hirooki Goto versus Kazuchika Okada. You can vote now for who you think is going to win. If you're watching this on YouTube, we hope you enjoy what you've been seeing. And yeah, consider watching with us live on twitch.tv/mode2x15. Yeah, Clutch I believe has a lot riding on this, because he said if he wins, where is Clutch? Hey yo, They tie up again. Okada getting thrown into the ropes, but is able to hold on. They tie up again. Okada with the left forearms taking down Hirooki Goto. And he goes for an STF right in the center of the ring at the 4-minute mark. Hirooki Goto able to just weasel his way out. I don't know if that's the right word to use, but he's able to get out of that situation. And Clutch, we're getting word via satellite. Clutch saying he couldn't give too many pointers or tips because Okada is a tough opponent. If one thing can be said about Hirooki Goto, he's definitely had some decent match evaluation. So he's definitely been in some really great matches. The only issue being he has yet to pick up a victory as Okada works on his Chaos teammate. And it would be impressive if Goto could pull this off. Throwing Okada into the blue corner and connects with a spinning wheel kick right in that corner, working on the back of Okada, sorry. And a slap to the chest of Okada and a clubbing blow to the back. And it looks like some kind of a rear naked choke on Okada. You have to believe Okada is in the conversation. Oh, as he gets thrown over the top rope, knocked over the top rope. Okada with a big boot to Goto on the outside. You have to believe he's in the conversation for becoming the first world champion. He's definitely got the numbers to prove that he could definitely be in that final on the 31st. As Red Shoes reaches a 10 count, Okada with a spinning tombstone on Hirooki Goto on the outside, and Okada signaling for a Rainmaker.
15.
Both men getting back into the ring at the count of 15. And we've seen Okada use this before to great effect earlier in this tournament. As he takes Goto away from the ropes, they tie up again, and Goto looked like maybe a code red, but Okada counters with a move of his own. 10 brownie points for whoever knows what that one's called. And a drop kick to the back of Hirooki Goto, knocking him down. And just a disgusting boot to the face of Goto in the middle of the ring, and a back elbow. Not quite a Judas effect, but a back elbow nonetheless. And a Rainmaker to Hirooki Goto. And he kicks out. Goto showing signs of life to the approval of the fans. They're clapping. Not many people kick out of a Rainmaker, but Goto kicking out, going into the 9th minute, and it looks like he's taking Okada up for a Ushigoroshi. And a headbutt to Okada. Goto building up some steam. A lariat taking Okada down, sits him up, and another almost like a PK. Goto's on a bit of a roll. Okada counters, tries to catch his breath, and a huge flapjack right into the Golden Quest, or the quest of the Golden Quest. And Rainmaker at the 10-minute mark. Uno goes for the count, and that is all she wrote. Goto is out of here. Okada moves up to the top of Block B with 25 points. Match evaluation of 77%, going 10 minutes and 13 seconds, ending with a Rainmaker to Hirooki Goto and a pinfall from the Rainmaker himself. Kazuchika Okada elevates his status to the king of Block B. As it stands at the moment, we still have 3 opponents that he has not yet faced, but let's take a quick look here. But first, we have to do some essential business, which is right here. Because without this, we would have to do everything again, and we don't want to do that. So we're going to move over into the rankings. Here we can see Bracket A, Lance Archer on top, undefeated, 6 points. Jericho with 20, Ibushi still in the runnings, Evil possibly still in the runnings too, Sanada, Kurt Angle and Cody, you have to believe they're out of here. And as for tonight, this is where we have landed. Hirooki Goto still winless. Unfortunately, will probably not be the first heavyweight champion. So thanks for coming. We're glad we didn't pay for the correct musical rights because the investment just would not have been worth it. Shibata, 1 victory. Suzuki, Nakamura, well, Suzuki with 10 points, Nakamura, Tanahashi with 15. Styles, Punk, Pac, Kenny, and Okada are still very much in this conversation. Lance Archer is definitely in this conversation. But one of these men is going to be crowned the first heavyweight champion on the 31st of July, and I think this is a good place to call it. So if you're watching on YouTube, I want to thank you for giving us a bite-sized chunk of your day, whenever or wherever you're watching this. And since you're on YouTube, know that I'm currently moving along the path towards 100 subscribers, so I ask, would you kindly subscribe and hit the notification bell on YouTube, and if you liked what you saw, click us a thumbs up. And hey, whilst you're doing all that, you might as well leave a comment with your favorite moment, your favorite match, your pick to win this whole damn thing. I would love to hear from you, and be sure to check out the notes in the description of this video. I look forward to you joining me again.